Hi everyone, Nick here today with another case study. This time we're going to look at the e-commerce market, particularly the hair market in this case, but you could apply this principle, or what I'm about to share with you, in any e-commerce market. One of the big problems with e-commerce is the ability to allow people to make a choice, or there's too much choice to be made, and that results in confusion and also needless copy and marketing to make something sell well. So the idea with this decision tree is can we profile people and then put them onto send them a highly granular email or responder sequence or a sales page that matched the issues and the aspirations that they have had about their lifestyle and their hair. So I'll quickly go through the decision tree first, and then I'll share with you what we did behind the scenes. Right, so get your personalized hair analysis in under 30 seconds. Click that. Here we went with a chatbot style approach, which is hi, I'm Jenny, your trichologist. Let's not be strangers. All right, so I'm going to go with Nick here. As you can see, the button only pops up after the data entry has happened, and go to the next one. I'm using personalization here with using the name on the very next question again. Now what you'll notice is that unlike the typical chatbot style that keeps rolling up, we're not doing that purely because what we found was when you give too much data, the more questions you ask, at some point we saw a drop off, and this approach has worked reasonably well. I haven't done too much testing, but it seems to be working much better than letting it roll. So that's a unique feature of LeadsHook to be able to do that. Right, there's three simple questions now. What's your natural hair type? So I'm just going to go with, I'm bald, but I'll go with straight today. Which of the following applies to you? Tick all that apply. Now this is a very unique question in that it's a checkbox question. So I can actually tick any one or two, three, all, none. So it allows me to make a selection. Now I prefer this question to the typical, which is forcing people to pick their biggest problem or the thing that matters to them the most. The difficulty with that question is that you're still asking them to make trade-offs between between the choices you have on screen, and you're better off. I think you're better off grabbing everything that affects someone, and and because you could have leads and prospects that are bothered by more than one thing. So this allows you to select, allows them to select any number of choices. So I'm just going to go with 5, and we'll go through this again up and to show you what's actually happening behind the scenes. All right, it's going to go, and what do you need help with? So these are the most common problems that we, based on the research we discovered in the hair market, which is thin, dry, damaged, greasy, and frizzy. So I'm just going to go ahead and once again pick 5 choices here. Go through, and last question, what's your age? And I'm going to just go ahead and pick 20 to 29, and I'm just going to put my trusty email address there, and get my hair results. Right, so this page is dynamically generated. It's got a little bit of personalization here. Now, because I had mentioned that I have straight hair, the copy, we've got a copy about straight hair, and then there's a that's a mistake in the copy. That should say straight. Right. So anyway, it goes through um, goes through and explains a bit more about the product recommendation, and then we have because I'd selected all the answers, the chemically processed, it talks about chemical processing, the harmful effects of heat on your hair, and then the rough handling of your hair. So essentially, it goes through. It gives a little bit more, a little bit of content about the problem or the issue they've identified for themselves, and then it gives a product recommendation to explain why the product matches the hair issue. Now you could do it any other way as well. This is just one of the approaches that we've taken, and you kind of go all the way down. So what it's doing is it's only giving you content for the things that you selected. So because I selected thin hair, it's only giving me content about thin hair. It explains how the product then helps the thin hair problem, and gives charts and goes all the way down till we have a product recommendation. In this case, you can go ahead and grab that and you go buy the product. Now, this is still a work in progress, but I just want to share this is the latest iteration of what we've been doing. And now I'll take you behind the scenes to show you what this does. Okay, before we do that, I'm just going to refresh the page here, go back to the beginning, and this time I'm only going to select one issue. So right there. Go through this again. This time I'm only going to select one answer for the checkbox one. I'll do the blow drying question, and I'll do the dry hair as my selection for this checkbox question, and I'm going to select 30 to 39 this time and go through. Okay, so because I selected wavy hair, it's giving me content about wavy hair, the product recommendation for wavy hair, and then because I selected only heat, it's only giving me content about heat and nothing else. And then my last one was about dry hair, and that's got content about dry hair. And then comes the product recommendation. So you see how the size of the page shrunk because I selected less issues. And so this is fully dynamically generated. In fact, this page would be very difficult for someone to rip off unless they understood what was happening behind the scenes with the logic there. Right, so that's wanted to share with you what's happening with the dynamic generation of this sales page for an e-commerce product. Now let's go behind the scenes so we can see what it's doing. Right, so in this one here, we've used a feature that I haven't showcased before in these case studies. It's results, which are basically snippets of content. So I'm just going to pick this one, which is the chemically processed hair and what to do about it. And it's got an image, it's got a head, a subhead, and then the product recommendation, and then the features and the benefits about it. So what's happening with this is the sorry, that was the chemically processed one. If I go to this question here, if I scroll down to chemically processed, so you see the answer that I've selected. I have dyed permed hair. This is the chemically processed answer. So what we've done is I've attached the snippet of copy, which can have images, it can have custom fields, it can have video, it can have all of the above, directly against this answer. So now when we go to the results page, which is the final page here, where the copy is being accumulated, you'll see that actually doesn't have much on it. It's just got hi, your name, and then at the bottom it's got the product recommendation. So the bit between the first, so that line is coming from here, and this bottom bit here is coming from here. But the bit in the middle, which is the dynamically generated content, which is all the results that are getting accumulated, which are matched against the responses or the answers that are selected, is actually being added in the middle here. Okay, this is the real power of how the dynamic generation is happening to directly match the problem or the desire or the issues that your leads and prospects have identified with you. It's almost like a virtual salesman who's helping you to select the right product. Okay, now I just want to one last thing before you finish is I just want to share with you what's happening here. So because what is your hair type is 4 answers, the following applied to me is actually 5 choices, which is I'll just quickly go through that again. So it's this question here. It's giving me 5. Sorry, not this one. The next one, just the hair choice. This one here is giving 5 choices, and so that's that question there. And 5 choices actually creates 32 combinations. And this is how that happens. If I go, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and then all the way to 5. That's a choice. That's a different choice. So essentially, every combination or every selection of the 5, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any of them, actually ends up being a combination. And so we've got 32 of those with a 5 choice, multiple choice, checkbox question. The next one also has 5, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick these two. So keep highlighting the screen. This one also has 5, so same thing, we have 32 combinations. And then the last question has got 5 age groupings, so 8 age categories, which is 6 age categories here. So that's 6. Now the number of market segments we're creating here is a unique combination of all of them. So, which is basically, if I just pull out my trusty calculator, and we'll do 4 times 32 times 32 times 6. It's 24,576 unique combinations of answers that we've received as a result of this decision tree. And not just that, because we're not using age to construct the answers, the number of combinations of the final page in for this particular campaign is actually the multiplication of those 3, because we're not using age to generate any content. We should, but we're not. But it's going to be 4 times 32 times 32, and so that's 4,096 unique landing pages are being generated as a result of the ability to attach results against each answer and having these leads hook dynamically generate the final page for us. Right, so just to show you today how this part works, and we've applied this in quite a few markets. One of the best ways to do it, or that at least we're testing at the moment, is to actually just add it to your main page, or where you may have an issue with product choice. Then essentially you can bring this up as a virtual salesman, where the person can go through and give a few answers about their current situation, and you can present offers as so you can present the results as an offer of what products they should consider for themselves. But not just that, behind the scenes we've grabbed 24,000 different market segments. We've passed all the data through to your email marketing system or your CRM, and then it's a matter of just doing granular campaigns and slicing and dicing the data to see what's happening behind the scenes. Right, so that's for today, and I hope you enjoyed this case study on how to do personalized selling for e-commerce products, and look forward to making the next one. Thank you.